Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tea with Timbsy, and today I'm joined by one of my bestest friends in all the whole wide world, presenter, host, entertainer, Love Islander, back in the day. I've already said it, innit? It's my friend, Josh Denzel. Josh, yeah, there you are. How you doing,
Good
bro?
to see you.
I had to give you that intro, innit?
Like I haven't seen you very, very recently.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Yesterday, last night, just watching TV.
I'm excited for this, man. I'm excited.
Yeah?
I've watched them. I'm like, when are you going to get me on? Having Chunks on, I was like, yeah, all right, cool. Chunks a little bit bigger than me.
Yeah.
Bella, all right, cool. I was like, fine. I was just waiting for my call up.
Yeah, it was episode 4. There we go. I did say early on, because I told Josh, I was like, I want to start this show and, chat show. I just feel like I know people so I can get people on and it's like, cool, have a nice chat. I was like, get you on eventually. I didn't realise it would be this soon. I was like, hopefully big hitters and then get Josh on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm happy playing B-side, you know what I mean?
No, I'm joking. Firstly, I always ask this to everyone. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Life is very good. I'm excited.
I feel like it is good for you. You're busy, man.
I'm busy, you know what I mean? Making that cash, baking that bread. That's what this is about. You know what I mean?
You are, honestly, I would say you are the busiest person I know in terms of work at the moment.
You know
One
what?
of, 100%.
I've managed to extend my little 15 minutes to about half hour.
Yeah, 50 minutes. That's very good. It's a good analogy, that. I don't even think it was 50 minutes because it was leading in this direction anyway. We'll get onto this anyway because I think people would probably know, but it's been a long time now, geez.
I know, I've got my old head in this game. Like,
yeah, no, don't say that.
No, genuinely, like, it's funny because I remember when I first started out doing stuff like this, it was like, get your phone, like leave work, like my actual job, paid my mortgage and my rent, and then it's like go and do free stuff like for Sport Bible for yourself, run around. You know what I mean? This is when like iPhone camera quality wasn't even that good. So I'm about 7 pixels running around on the screen, like nobody's watching. I'm just there like, what's going on?
Yeah, that was like what, iPhone 5 days?
5 days, maybe 6.
Yeah,
maybe iPhone
6
days,
days. Oh, if you had the 6, you were treating yourself, weren't you?
On.
So we should probably start from the beginning.
Yes, take it all the way back.
This is for people, but also it's nice to just reminisce. Do you actually remember how we met and where? Because I think I know.
Where would we meet? Would it be in Nottingham?
So no, I maybe on like the odd night out.
Yeah.
But I didn't properly meet you and like say hello and actually,
converse.
Yeah. I think it was in Proud Camden.
Oh God, I do remember that.
Do you remember?
The less said about that, the better. Whoa, God. Yeah, I do remember that. That wasn't like I'd make Jordan for an event.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I went with George, and I think you were there, or you came out, or you came.
I was rolling solo because these times I wasn't even part of your Knots Uni crew, football boys.
But then even then,
I was a solo raver, mate.
Just a solo soldier.
Yeah.
Because that was 2012.
12? Yeah.
So it's been 9 years, bro.
Oh,
mad. You've been 9 years of my life. You've been a big part of my life. You know what I mean?
Do you know what it was? I remember that day because I was like turning up, and it was like your boys and it was me, and I kind of like, because I knew like a lot of the Knots football boys, essentially like part of our friend group. Like it was kind of me on the outside. And I was like, and I knew a few of them, but I didn't know everyone. And that was the kind of day where I got introduced to like the wider
group,
circle and the wider group. And there was just vibes from the beginning.
I say this to everyone who like asked me about you and stuff. I was like, I knew Josh would be doing something like he's doing now. From the first moment I properly met him and like got to know Josh, I was like, you have to do something in front of camera because you're just too funny. Obviously, our lives have worked out that we are doing these things now.
Sick,
and like,
it's unbelievable.
Now I've got you on my own show, sort of. It's like a weird world we live in, isn't it? No, that's not even big of myself. I'm just saying, like, but it's like, I don't know, the world works in such weird ways because like, we started working on our jobs, like started presenting at pretty much exactly the same time.
Because I'd done like a few bits for Sport Bible, so like...
You weren't there though. Okay, so you need to explain, by the way. You need to explain, your job was not Sport Bible and presenting. Your job was Adobe.
Yeah, right.
For the long
Don't use my government name, bro. Come on. The funny thing was, like, I left uni and I was like, you know what? I've got to get a job. I've got to get a job, and like
a lot of people.
Yeah. You know what I mean, there was no like follow your dream. Like I've just done 3 years at uni. Like I've done like a history degree. Like I can't post that. The dream of like doing what we do now it existed like, you know what I mean, occasionally you wake up on Christmas morning, like what can you wish for? Like I wish I could do all this stuff I'm doing now.
Sky Sports News.
Yeah, exactly. And then I went straight into recruitment. It was like the first interview I had out of university. And I was all the geezers in there going, "What, Shan? Yeah, man, listen, all you got to do is 150 calls a day, right? You make about 4 or 5 grand a month easy. Yeah, you pay your taxes, all that." I'm thinking, sweet as mate, like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Go down TK Maxx, get like a Hugo Boss suit, 150 quid. Don't even get it tailored, mate. Like, you know what I mean? The trousers, you know what I mean? Trousers up here, the blazers out here. And I like powered through that for like a year and a half. Terrible time in my life. Probably the saddest I've ever been in my life. I'm quite a happy person.
Yeah.
And then my mate, who I played football with at uni, he went, "Do you know what? I'm going to Adobe." And he was like banging the drums about it. He was like, "Listen, it's much more chilled. You can like kind of manage your own time a lot better." Went there, and I was there for about 6 months before we started just doing like, we went to Vons for like the 2016 Euros.
Yeah.
I ended up on this trip, and it was like, we were just guests, but there were other like influencers and presenters on the trip. But the way it worked is we just got on so well with the client that it was me and Steph, who's my manager now, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. And he was like, "You need to do stuff. You need to do stuff." And then you boys were saying, "You need to do stuff." So I thought, who do I know? And I like messaged a friend I had at Lad Bible. I was like, whatever comes up that you don't have someone for, or you're just gonna put it out on social, like, I'll do it. Yeah. No money, no nothing. Just let me create something. And be crazy on camera. Yeah. Well, not crazy. But do your thing my flavour on something. And eventually, I got the call to do it, and I was like, literally, like, it was at 3 p.m. on like a Tuesday. Boom, like, got a meeting. Who's it with? Jane Doe. Sweet, boom, there you go. I was off doing the interview, and I thought, well, I've got these like 3 million followers like on the end of my phone. Yeah. I might as well just tag myself in a little corner.
I remember that.
And I tagged myself in it, and I was thinking, this could be the first and last story I ever do for Sport Bible. And they liked it. I went into the office, they were like, "Oh, it was you on the stories." And it kind of just spiraled. I did that for about 6 months, free, just leaving my desk whenever. Yeah. People are going to work, and people would be like, "Where's Josh? Where's Josh?" Or, "Haven't I not just seen you on Sport Bible Insta?" Like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, I swear I went to the toilet. Like, you know what I mean? Bad. I had a dodgy curry last night. I've been there. And eventually I had to like put it on him and say, I'm risking my job here. And it's now to the point where like there's less and less benefit for me. Because you'd done it for what, 6 months? Yeah. You'd got a following, and people started to like your stuff where they were like expecting it almost. Yeah. So it had to sort of start to become worth it for you. Yeah, and I essentially forced myself to be the face of, you know what I mean, like social content in terms of like you know what I mean, as live social content for Sport Bible at events and stuff. And they just kind of went, okay, we'll give you a permanent job in the marketing team, but realistically your job's just going to be and you're like, on camera stuff. And I was like, I've made it. Yeah. Took like a 50% pay cut to go there. Yeah, so you paid like 17 grand a year, and you're like, I don't care. I was like, yeah, sweet, back to being a student again. But the experience is like, you can't buy that kind of experience. It's true. I think for as long as people have known what we do, they've known that we're friends and like we've done very similar things, right? I mean, we'll get onto it later, but the way our, I guess, careers and lives have intertwined so much since 2014 is mental. But I feel like me and you hit a gap in the market. We were very lucky. Like, as much as we worked hard, right? And we work hard, and you literally left your job that you had during the day to do this Sport Bible stuff, to almost force yourself in a door. You know what I mean? I feel like we were also very lucky where there was a gap there, where for me it was Potent Vooge whenever they weren't there, and they started introducing me on camera, and I could play football, whereas they couldn't do it as much, sort of thing. So that gap was there. But for you, it was like the gap was Sport Bible didn't have a face. Yeah. So suddenly you were like, boom, I'm sick on camera. I get along with everyone. I'm a bubbly person. If I tag myself, boom, suddenly I can make myself the face. So it's like we've both been lucky, I guess, but you have to find ways of, I guess, working hard to put yourself in these positions. You took your opportunity. Like, I remember the first time I saw you on camera, was it not the Danny Rose painting stuff? Yeah. So I remember like, I saw it and I was like, raw, Timbsy's on camera. I was like, this is mad. And you just like, kind of with your style, and your style is completely unique. Like you do you. It's completely different, right? And it just worked. And then the next time I see you, you're like, by the way, Geez, like, I'm going to Qatar to shoot with Renato Sanchez and David Alaba. Yeah. And then your performance on that was like some sort of Game 6 Michael Jordan style, like clutch performance. And I was like, this is what you're built to do. Yeah, and I think it's having, you had the confidence to be like, I'm going to run with this. Well, yeah, but I don't think I did.
Like, I had the confidence in that I knew, like, off camera, like we both know, like we get along with everyone, and like we can speak to a lot of people and adapt to certain scenarios, and like we're just lively people, right? But in terms of actually being on camera, I wasn't. Firstly, I was bricking it, obviously. Like before those first few shoots, obviously I was bricking it. Even though that Renato Sanchez Alaba one went well, I didn't think like, oh sick, yeah, I'm definitely going to do this now. I was still just like, look, I didn't want to force anything, and I was like, that went well, and I know people were saying nice things about it. Yeah. But I still don't know whether I'm sort of supposed to be doing this or made for this.
Am I just feeling ill?
Whereas I feel like with you, how well I know you anyway, I always thought this was something you were literally born to do, sort of thing. I don't know if you felt that. For you always knew you were going to do it.
As soon as I started, like, you do the first, obviously you're nervous, right? Like,
of course,
you're thinking, God blimey, even though you can't see the followers.
It doesn't matter,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You're thinking, Jesus.
Because you have to perform.
You have to perform, right? And like, it's not, I don't think it's a natural thing to be able just to like talk to a camera. Like, I remember like, I used to like walk down the street, or I'm at football, I'm at the FA Cup final, wherever it is, you're at a massive event and he's got all these geezers going past, you've got girls going past, and you're there like going, what's happening guys? Like overly hyped energy for the area that you're in. Exactly. People kind of like muttering and whispering like, oh, one of these geezers with a phone at the football.
Oh, who's that fucking weirdo?
Yeah, exactly. And you got to just be able to, I learned very quickly that I could just brush that off and like, listen, if I think it's cool, it's cool. Like, there you go. And then you get a little bit of hype and a little bit of gas from people online, and you're like, this is for me. This, I can get used to this.
So when was that first moment for you? Like, even that Renato one for me, even though it went well, that was the first one that I guess, not put me on the map, but like that proved it could be a real thing. And then my moment of like, I knew I could do this was a bit later on. But when was the first time for you that you thought like, nah, you know what, I can do this?
Do you know what it was? You know, interestingly enough, I think it wasn't really I was on the shoot doing it, because I was just doing what I did on my phone to my, you know what I mean, 25 Snapchat followers like a year before.
Or doing it on Yo-Yo with Tommy.
It was more like, let's talk.
No, it's funny though, isn't it? It's good, it's funny. And they'll never know. That's just for Tommy. We love you, Tommy.
Know? It was like going into like the Lad Bible office and having like, people go, wow, that was really good. Like, I don't understand why we haven't done this before. And then being in meetings with like the FA, and the FA are like, we're requesting Josh. And you're like,
wow.
What?
Was it that early on in your, when was that?
That was like, honestly, because this was before I even worked there. But like,
so like 2016,
you know what I mean? It was like 2016, like 2017, 2016. And like, I'd go into the office, just be like, guys, like, here's like a card, or like, here's whatever, like, what do you want to do next? And then they'd have been like, oh, Josh, like, we literally just put you in a pitch. I'm like, what is a pitch? Like, I don't get it.
Exactly.
And like, all the stuff that you don't understand. And it was like, oh, you lot are taking me serious. And then that just like grew my confidence. But probably when I was like meeting, like, I did a press junket with Michael B. Jordan, like 2017. And it was just casual. I'm asking the question. I'm not on camera, but I'm asking the question. I'm in and around it. Daniel Kaluuya was there, like. And it was just, it felt natural. So I was like,
you didn't feel overwhelmed?
I didn't feel overwhelmed. But I still get it now, honestly, where I have like imposter syndrome. I swear to God.
I'm the same as well. And I feel, on the whole, I don't get nervous before shoots now, because especially a lot of it is just regular stuff that you've done 100 times now, right? Because we're experienced enough, like we're lucky enough that we've done it enough. It's okay. But I still get that as well. And I feel almost ashamed to admit that there are still certain times where, even mid-shoot, I'm talking and I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing this.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
And not in a way of
they
like...
trust me here. Like,
it's true. Because it's not like I shouldn't be doing this, but it's like that, it's just a moment of realization where your mind slowly drifts to look at it in a wider context, and and it's almost you're seeing yourself from above. And you're like, oh my God, you're really interviewing whoever.
You've interviewed Messi, bro, in a different language, and Dan in a different language. You can't tell me you ain't built for this stuff.
No, but that's not being built for it. Being built for it is I'm like, but that's different. Being built for it is different to just realizing is like actually taking it in and being like just that split second of like, holy shit.
100%.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's not panic. It's just more like, as you say, imposter syndrome. You're like, wow, that's me. Sort of thing.
And you're like, do these lot like really know it's actually me? Like, like not. Because
the Messi one, I've never been more in the moment than that Messi thing, because, and to prove that fact, I cannot remember a thing. For that 15-minute window, I cannot remember 1 minute of what happened.
You're just so focused.
Because I was so focused in the moment. I was so focused on my lines that I needed to rehearse, and actually listening to Messi to translate.
Yeah.
And I remember actually I had one moment, right, when he was speaking, I had that one moment in my head where I was like, geez, you're on stage and translating Messi. And they're like,
what's he just said?
And you're like, shut up, listen to what he said. And I'm like, fuck. Right.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the only bit I actually remember of like going through my head. So for you, it was more the fact that you felt like you belonged.
Yeah, I got validation quite quickly, which massively helped, because like if I was to do something and I would have got panned for it, or like there'd have been a bad reaction on social, or gone to the office and they gone, nah, that's not quite it. I would have been like, oh, and them early stages, like you can't really take too many big knocks to your confidence, because I believe that what we do is a lot of it, that there is like a talent and panache, and it's based on your personality and who you were at school, and what kind of person you are, but a lot of it is confidence, and it is self-confidence as well, because I feel like the camera takes away 10% of your energy. So like if we're here and we're just doing what we're doing now, if you watch it on a screen, because there's that many barriers, like you need to give 20% more for them to feel it how we feel it in here. Do you know what I mean? So if you haven't got that confidence, it's very easy to see. That's how I feel.
Oh yeah, I never thought about it like that. That's interesting. And like to be fair, we talk. So it's funny how it's all kind of worked out, because even back in the day when we were just starting, right? And I was just starting to do stuff on Copper, and then people were like, obviously all of our mates, we're sort of lucky, right? Because I think we have such an, obviously we're biased, but I'm so thankful to have the friendship group we have, because we're all so like positive and just gas each other up. We're so happy when any of us do anything. Yeah, it's like,
I think like, should I try and do more stuff on camera? Everyone would be like, 1000% geese, like you got this, rather than, nah mate, like it's quite good what you're doing.
You know what, don't get ahead of yourself, sort of thing. Whereas like it's the opposite for us. So because of that, I remember when we first started doing our stuff, it was our friends would say like, no, you two can do something.
Yeah, for sure.
And then didn't really believe it, but we sort of did, because we were doing more of it. So the evidence was there. But then like we were like, nah, honestly, in a few years' time, you're gonna like. I remember us actually joking about like Face of England and stuff like that, right? And it's like literally we did a shoot with England last week together for the first time.
Crazy.
It's such a mad thing how it all comes about. You know what I mean? Those little moments of like the more we do, and it only really started to dawn on me when we were like going to events together, but actually getting sent out together to do loads of stuff, and that was like Champions League.
Two Champions League finals on the bounce. It was like outrageous.
It's so good.
And then, do you know what? When it was like a lot of it, like that stuff, unbelievable. And I was like, this is it. And we're working. You were doing stuff with UEFA, and it's like this is Pepsi, and your relationship with them has gone. But it's like within the post that, you know, quite recently, it's like you two go on a tour around America together, and just there's you 3 weeks. Boom. Yeah. Twice we've done that now.
Yeah, exactly.
In the Champions League final, it's like you have complete control of your own story. Like you're telling your story of your experience here. You two. We love the fact that you're friends. Yeah. Go play on that. Go enjoy it. There's Pires.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do with Pires? Yeah. Well, sounds good, boys. We trust you. This is like head of marketing at Pepsi and UEFA going, we trust you too. We love what you're doing. Just knock about.
Okay. So I've got two questions now, right? So one is, I think for a lot of people as well who would be watching and who follow you and who follow me, like they want to do what we want to do, right? And I asked Chunks the same thing. Yeah. Because even though we started out the same, and you know, working for a company, being the face of a company, then obviously we did the Love Island. You did the Love Island bit. I did the just keep grinding bit. Like, so there's two.
Right. I got the easy route. Like mad. I was grinding. I was getting a tan. Yeah. Cool. I see what you're doing, T.
Okay. So you know what I mean. But like, okay. So if someone actually asked you, right?
What's one thing? Do you know what? That's interesting. I might do a thing, not sum it up in one, but like give like a little course maybe or something on how to be a presenter. But that's you know what I mean, that's long term. That's long term, whatever. But if I was to give one piece of advice, right? It sounds stupid to someone who wants to be a presenter. I was just start. Just start. Okay. Because let me tell you, I wish I would have just started wherever it was. When I started, I was doing nonsense with our friend Tom. He had like a kind of like a sports betting company startup thing, and like Yo-Yo. It was called Yo-Yo Fantasy Sports, right? He kind of had to force me to do it.
Yeah.
Not force me, but give me the confidence to do it. And it was like, just create a concept and just put it in the universe. Put it out on Facebook. I'll be going through broadcast messaging, being like, yo, share this, bro. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Might have been rubbish. Probably is rubbish if I go back and watch it. Yeah. But like, just start. I wish I'd have started earlier, because you make the mistakes earlier. You learn the things that work earlier. You are, you know what I mean? By force, you're like, you know, there's not 20 people who've just already started before you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like, just start, whether it's to your own TikTok. You can blow up. I've seen people blow up on TikTok in months, 500,000 followers, and you've suddenly got an audience. So it's like, whatever platform you're doing it on, just start. Find your niche. Like, you can't be like my thing is really sport. Do you know what I mean? And like a bit of entertainment stuff. Yeah. And I knew that. Like, that's what I love. That's what I don't mind doing the 3 hours for. I don't mind sitting in the cold at Arsenal and just doing stories about why we're 2-0 down to Burnley. Like, I enjoy, like, you mean, that makes me happy. Yeah. Find your niche and start. Yeah. Whether, you know, no one's watching, whether it's just your mum and your dog, and you're replaying it to, you know what I mean, the neighbours through the window. I don't care what you're doing, just start. Yeah. Just start.
Nice. Because also, you say just start and find your niche, but like, I feel like what you've done and when you started, it was literally what you were doing on camera is how I know you off camera anyway. Yeah. So like all the silliness and all just the banter in front of the camera, right? Turn the cameras off, and if we're on holiday and we're chilling at Popo's Gaff in Portugal, right? It's exactly the same. Yeah. The storytelling and the thing is exactly the same. And it's just like, but it's just that the camera's on.
Yeah, you know I like, I'm not going to deny, like, I like being centre of attention. Like, if I've got like a half.
See, I don't really. I honestly don't. Like, I don't know. I get that you do, because, I love you being the centre of attention because you thrive.
But naturally, when you are the centre of attention, you don't shy away from it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been in many times with you where, like, you know what I mean, Timbsy's there like, holding court, or, you know what I mean, we're doing stuff and like, you are the focal point. And whether you like it, whether you like planned it or not, like, it happens and you don't shy away from it. Like, when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Of course.
It's obviously a little bit different when someone puts a camera in your face and goes like, do this. Yeah. And you're like, okay. And then you start overthinking it. But when it's natural to you, like, you're exactly the same. But for me, like, I definitely like, if I've got half decent, like I said, if I've got a half decent story, like, believe me, I'm going to tell it 15 times.
But then that's the thing. Also, because you've been doing this, and this is how you know you're sort of made for this stuff as well. You've been doing this since you were no age, and you can tell, because the way you are, it just doesn't change. That more natural, being the centre of attention. Like at my birthday, bro, doing MCing and shit like that. I mean, that's nonsense.
Let me tell you right now, guys. Like, that's one of the greatest Spotify aux cable DJ sessions you've ever seen. No headphones, no mic, no mixing. I was DJing off somebody else's Spotify playlist, Oh my God,
just using a beer bottle as a mic. Just go, come on. Yeah, it was sick. It was so good. In terms of your job, what has been your highlight moment? Because you've had a lot.
Oh, cool. Like, listen, I've lived my dream like 3 times over in 4 years. Like, I'm so blessed. Do you know what? Like, I got to sit courtside at the NBA All-Star game with Thierry Henry, Evra, and Drogba. And like, it weren't just that. Like, go backstage and I'm like, we're just kicking balls around. Like, we're like throwing basketballs, we're bantering this. Like, and that was a moment where I thought, I can't get better than that. And then I was in Miami and I was talking to Sony. And they were like, we want you to be on the red carpet or the blue carpet, whatever it was, for the Bad Boys 2 premiere, Bad Boys 3 premiere. Yeah. I'm like, you should never have to ask me to send me the ticket. Like, I'm there. And then, you know, they're bringing Will Smith over to me. They're bringing Martin Lawrence over to me. They're bringing DJ Khaled. I'm having like a full-on, you know what I mean, conversation with my hero, Will Smith. And then Martin Lawrence is there. And then Martin Lawrence, and we're just vibing. And I'm thinking, this is crazy, bro. Like, this is insane. Because it's in Miami, it's so glamorous. Because it's Will Smith, it's like, people say never meet your heroes. I got to meet like 2 of my like idols, like gods to me. Yeah. And obviously, like all the stuff with England, like, you know, I mean, you've been to St George's Park, like that stuff. Like as a kid growing up watching football and remembering like them wheeling TVs, you know, into classrooms so I can watch the 2002 World Cup. Like going as a fan in Vance with 30 boys and being out there for 3-4 weeks, going to games, like going to Wembley in them cold nights to watch like Dead Rubber, you know, I mean, group games of Nations League, like, and now I'm working with England, like, For me, like that. Those three, like I can't pick one, but those three are like baffling to me.
Yeah. Sick though.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I always think this after kind of highlight moments as well. It's like you could sort of see it happening from afar though. You can almost not predict it.
Yeah.
But it was like this should happen. And it happens for a reason. Yeah. I mean, it's not just like I didn't deserve this at all. You know what I mean? It was like, nah, like it's a natural next step of what you've done before, or you know.
Yeah, and the thing is that Doxy, Steph, is like my manager. He's like one of our very good friends, and he's like from kids. We've like I've known him since we was knee high, like since he first came into the year 7 classroom, and he had like the longest high ever asthma pump in his hand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've known him since these times, and like we've always like watching Bad Boy, watching Men in Black, like Denzel films, like going to football together, playing football together, like always dreamed of these things. And then when we got to a position where like, especially like post Love Island, it was like, how do we get here? How do we take you from blase, Z-list, whatever you want to call it, reality star, teeth white, whatever, to take you, boom, and move you out of there and get you the respect that you deserve for all the grind that you did before that. Yeah. And it was like, and we started building and building step by step to the point where when I met Will Smith, like, I was almost like, yeah, sick, who's next? Like, when am I meeting Denzel? Like, not in like a crazy way, but like, if I've managed to get here,
why can't
and gone through the steps, why can't I
100%.
go somewhere crazy?
100%. Because was that I guess moving on to Love Island, like, was that a conscious effort to go back to pre-Love Island, being Sport Bible geezer, but now the possibilities are just blown wide open sort of thing? Was that like you and Steph sat down and you were like, let's do it?
Yeah, for sure, because Steph at the time was working at Freud's, and Freud's, Pepsi, Champions League, Nike, like all this stuff that we've been doing together, there was already a link there. Yeah. And I was talking to him, I was like, how can you maximize this? Like the Love Island thing, like I was taking calls, like I was planning on going to Russia for the World Cup. For the World Cup, you were going to Russia, like, but your Russia was going to be very different to my Russia. Like mine was a bit like, if a brand pays money for you to go there and does this, and maybe you can do this and maybe you can do that. Whereas you were going like, yo, we're in Russia, like we are part of this. Like
for 5 weeks.
So I was thinking like, obviously I want to watch the World Cup, but when Love Island called, they were like, right, what are your plans for the summer? I was like, listen, these lot are kind of taking the mickey. Like, I've got plans, but what are you offering? And they were like, blah, 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 Love Island, etc. You can start, you can do this. And I thought, if I do this right, if I stay in there for 2 weeks and I get 300,000 followers, people will forget I was in Love Island, and I can go back with 300,000 followers, built with my own platform, people who like me, like the stuff that I do, that, you know what I mean, will be able to see what I've done, and I'll just maximize this. And obviously it just went ballistic.
And then you got to the final.
I know, And then it went ballistic, and after that I was like, there's not a chance I'm wasting this. Like, 100%. I got like 1 million. I was like, this is crazy, bro. I was like 20K before, and I was like, you can do a lot with that. Like, you can do a lot with that. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of going to events, in terms of like getting yourself access and creating content, but with $1 million.
It's not even just the 1.2 mil, it's the fact that you're relatable to so many more people now because mums have watched you who don't have Instagram, and so it's like, then when the brands actually want to work with you, they know there's instantly a connection where otherwise there wouldn't be. And
not only that, like the people that you're interviewing, like it instantly creates like less of a boundary, less of a barrier, because it's like, oh bro, I see, remember you did this and this, and you're like, cool. And then suddenly, natural flow, chit chat, cool. You're more on a level because they've seen what you're about for 6 to 8 weeks. They kind of know you're not crazy. They know you're not there for a bad, you know what I mean? In a bad way. It's like, cool, we want to see each other prosper and see each other win. And that's how, to be fair, that's helped me a lot, especially like in football, because you know, like a lot of footballers watch Love Island. So
of course.
It's nice now, you know, when I go and see some of the boys and they're like, bruv, I can't, like even like Iwobi and stuff like that. Originally, like just like, oh, man, you done well. And I was like,
that's
like,
so
I had a few ballers in the DMs being like, oh, congrats, bro.
Really?
And I was like, sick, people I'd never met. And I was like,
so
okay,
cool.
this can really be a thing.
Of course. So you didn't go into the Love, just to confirm, you didn't go into the Love Island for love?
Right, you put me on the spot now, Tim. I was there to see what would happen if it happened. But the plan, regardless of the love or no love, I was going to come out and do what I'm doing now.
Of course, of course. Even though there was a very... even though...
My pal.
I can't do this. I love you. But it's like, even though there was a mad detailed plan of how I'm going to attack this presenting game over... Oh yeah, no, love though. Yeah, it could be there in a villa in Spain somewhere. Yeah, of course.
Do you know, I, to be honest with you, like, I went in there just being like, whatever happens, happens. Like, if I find someone great, like, I weren't expecting it, to be honest with you. Like,
so when I found out that you were going into the villa, because obviously you're not supposed to tell anyone. You have to you have to stay away from people and whatever. I remember. So we just went Champions League final in where was it?
Kiev.
In Kiev, right? So we're in Ukraine. And doing our stuff with Lab Bible and doing with Copper and Pepsi. Yeah. So we're doing all the stuff, great final, watched it, and then he's like, yeah, Geese, to be fair, I might have a... And I had heard, but obviously we can't confirm, but I had heard, I was like, oh God, yeah, that might be a possibility. And he's like, and I knew this as well, because in the hotel, every morning I'd wake up and there's like, Geese, where are you? Let's get some breakfast. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm just in the gym.
I was grinding. I was like The Rock's Instagram, you know, just...
And then I'd go down, yeah? And then he'd be fucking sprinting on the treadmill, and I'd go into the treadmill and he'd be like, you've been doing that for 20 minutes. What is going through your head, you madman? Yeah. So I sort of knew, but then he was like, yeah, Geese. So on the flight home, when we landed into Stansted or Luton or wherever. Yeah, Luton. Yeah. He was just straight away, boom, on the phone. And I remember he saying, he's like, yeah, to be fair, Geese, if you don't hear from me tomorrow, if you send me a text and nothing goes through, then I might be away for a little while. And then I remember, so I was like, okay, cool, safe, whatever. And then woke up the next day, texted him, was like, Geese, what are you up to? I've got a few days off, let's go grab some food, whatever. And it was just that one tick on WhatsApp. And I was like, my boy's in the fucking villa.
Do you know what it was? It was like, I went to that Champions League final. I was like, cool, blimey.
You knew then, right?
I knew then, right? Yeah. And I was like, this is a bit serious. Like, I'm going to Love Island. So when I flew back, right, I left you at Luton. I flew home. I'd called my barber. To be fair, I called my barber like as soon as I got off the plane, and I said, "Geez, are you gonna open up the shop for me?" And he's like, "Oh man, it's like 11:30 p.m." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Fine, cool." Got my trim, went back to Luton. Met the chaperone for Love Island, and then like flew at like 4 a.m. in the morning to.
So you just and you packed your. Oh no! Did you even pack your bags?
I packed my bag before I went to.
So you knew.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay, that's amazing. I didn't want to chat too much about Love Island because, but this stuff is kind of cool, and a lot of people don't know this. Like, how long were you in isolation? This is before COVID, by the way. Isolation.
Yeah, 2 solid 14 days. Yeah.
Of you in a hotel room?
Let me tell you, I'll tell you how it works, is you get a chaperone, right? And the chaperone can't leave your site. So you get flown out to Spain and they put you in a holding hotel until you go in, right? Okay. And they're like, every day you're allowed out for food. But when I say out, you're allowed within it's like a circle, right? I'm drawing a map.
A veranda.
Yeah, and it's like, here you go, here's your balcony. You can't use the hotel pool because they're going to be wondering why there's this flipping, I don't know.
Tanned geezer
like working out by the pool. Like he might be going on Love Island. And so they treat, it's a bit crazy. Okay. So for 2 weeks, they take away your phone. You take away the phone for the whole time, but as soon as you get on the plane, they take away your phone, they take away the TV remote. You're stuck in a room for 14 days. TV remote, no phone, no thingy phone. You're not allowed in the shop because you might see a newspaper. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was driving me insane.
That sounds like hell.
Yeah, and also your shit. Yeah, I'm gonna swear, but you're fucking shit scared because you're thinking at any day they can call you and go, yeah, it's your time. They call you up, honestly, you're on the wing in prison, and you hear they're like, it's time. Boom, door comes open, you're like, at least oil me up, you know what I mean? You're like, shit! And then you're in the car and you haven't listened to music for the 2 weeks, right? So, and the Spanish cab driver was taking me to the villa, and it's 20 minutes from the place. And he's like, what do you want to play? And I was like, he's like, you get one song. I'm like, you got gas? I got one song to gas me. So I'm thinking, just whack some Drizzy on, I don't care. He's got one of them USBs, yeah? You know, you can put the MP3s on USB. Yeah. And he's cycling through, he's got one flipping Drake tune from unreleased thing from 97 before Drake.
That might not even
Drake
be
was actually a rapper, yeah. I'm there and I'm trying to get a bit hyped and I'm thinking, whoo, cool. And then the next thing you know, like I'm sat by the pool in the villa.
So they just go straight from, yeah, but you're in shorts though, so you had to get changed and shit,
As in, like,
right?
they wake you up and you're like, it's your time now, innit? Like,
So
cool.
you have
and
to
then
choose your outfit.
whack the shorts on and a shirt and some whatever flip-flops or whatever you got, and boom, you're in there. Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
So
like,
then it's straight, and then there's nothing of no prepping you in terms of this is what to expect, no prepping you in terms of like, okay, sit by the pool and wait, we'll tell you what to do.
Yeah. So they basically go like, by the way, that's the front door, you're not going in the front door, you're going in the side door, and you're going to sit by the pool. Cool. And it was me and this boy Charlie, Charlie Fredericks. And we sit there, bear in mind he's 6'3" and like stacked. I'm thinking, I ain't gonna last a day in here, bro. I was rattled, dude. So that's rattled me as well, yeah? You know what I mean? So I'm sat there now and like I've got dry mouth, yeah, and they're not allowed to give you water. Because obviously like the production staff can't go into the villa like that, especially before everyone wakes up. It's supposed to be a big reveal. Can't have like a big reveal and suddenly there's like one of the producers. Like,
a runner there, just going, there you go.
So yeah, and like, it was the most awkward chat ever because like, obviously we were both mad nervous. And I said to myself, like, whatever you do, guys, like, don't, the first thing out of your mouth can't be, "What's happening, girls?" Right? So I'm thinking, don't do that, mate, don't do that. Like, you know, go with a little bit of suaveness, like, you got a bit about you. These lot come over the corner and go, "Oh my God, there's new boys." And I just went, "What's happening, girls?" Like, and I see that I went, "Fuck, yeah, was that good?" That was
so good.
Yeah, so that was the proper wordsmith me.
And then it just ballooned from there.
And then it just blew from there.
When I tell you, this is the whole thing about our friendship group, right? We were so gassed when we actually had it confirmed, because obviously Steph was sort of managing that situation before. And then we sort of heard him, we're like, right, I think this episode's going to be the first episode where Denz is in. Yeah. And so we had a viewing party, obviously.
Oh my God,
so we had, and when we say a viewing party, we had 25 people in your tiny flat in Camden, yeah?
Smaller than like there to here.
The living room is literally, it's half of this set. And we all just crammed in there. And when I tell you, we were so hyped, honestly, it was a joke.
It was scenes.
The best thing,
limbs in
the
there.
best thing was like we got the little teaser before, right, where it says, "And after the break, we see two new boys walking," and then we see your shoulder just go like this. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, boulders. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
And we see your shoulder, and we freak out for the whole break, for the whole 2 minutes 30 break, right? We are screaming, right, and then it was like, "It's back on, it's back on," and then. As soon as we saw you, right, sitting by the pool in that kind of steady cam that comes along, and you're there just like putting your little legs in the thing, right, and we were just like going, "Yes, this is it." And then as soon as you turn around and say, "What's happening, girls?" we went mad. Like, it was the best.
You know what? I've got that video. You know, you can probably put that in the video. It's scenes.
Honestly, it's the funniest moment in like a group, just cheering for one of our boys. It was so good.
I appreciate you supporting me. You didn't obviously vote for me enough in the final, did you?
No, geez, we did. We actually, no, to be fair, the telephone charges from Russia is expensive. So
I let you off in it. You were working as well.
Yeah, exactly. But like, so be honest. Yeah. Was it boring?
No, because. Right, when you've got nothing, when you've got not got a clock to look at, when you've not got like the only
book,
thing,
you're not allowed a book.
So you just invent stupid games. So like me, Wes, Jack, Fowler, Jack Fincham, whatever. Like you'd invent stupid games. So you'd be like,
what we do on holiday,
racing. Yeah, exactly. It'd be like the equivalent of like with your boys on a villa holiday, no TV. Like you'd find something to do.
Yeah.
And we used to like they didn't allow you to play football.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get like some plastic bags. And you tie them all up together. So you had like, do you know what I mean? So when like they used to come in and clean the kitchen, like they'd leave a plastic bag and you wrap it up and then maybe find some gaffer tape or find something to stick it together. So you have like a ball like that big made of bin bags. Yeah. And you just launch it around together. You've been playing like 2-on-2 for like 3 hours.
Because that's the thing. I think I remember you telling me this, people think like, oh my God, they get up to so much. It's full of drama all the time, right? But they put it into a 1 hour show from a 24-hour day.
No one wants drama, let me tell you. Like, you're in there going like, oh. And I used to sleep next to Wes. Yeah. And I'd be there and he'd wake up and he'd done something stupid, he'd left Laura or whatever. I'm thinking, bruv, you're bringing this to me now. Like, because they're going to have to ask me to talk to you about it. You're going to, like, you know what I mean, be emotional. And I'm thinking she's going to be emotional. They're going to blame me for getting in your head. And like, so thinking, I don't want the drama, but it always happened. But there was like lulls. It's like war, massive lulls, and then like a brief spate of craziness,
carnage,
and then. But you knew the evening everyone was on smoke. Like you knew that people saved up their arguments for the evening. I don't know what it was. You could chill in the day, everything be blessed, and then it's like when you go to sleep and your girlfriend's next to you, and they wait until your eyes are just about to close, and they go, "Babe."
Yeah,
who's that girl? I mean, all crap. They used to wait for dinner. They used to wait for their one drink, the little one glass of prosecco.
That's it, because
get them a little bit gassed.
You're only allowed one, right?
You're only allowed two glasses of wine, 4 little beers, 2 glasses of wine, 2 proseccos, or 2 white wines.
Oh, so what was your drink?
Red wine every time.
Two glasses of red.
2 glasses of red.
Because that just gets you started, isn't it? It's like, ooh.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And you look a bit sophisticated if you're arguing and you've got a red wine. You got a beer, you just allow it, you know what I mean? You're going, what do you mean I kissed her in the challenge? You know what I mean? It's a little bit more suave with it, carries a bit more power.
Yeah. Mate, some of the stuff that came out during it, because obviously everyone knows that summer, everyone looks back so fondly on that summer, Russia 2018 World Cup, and it was baking hot back in London.
Yeah.
Love Island was on every day.
I've heard
I think
rumours.
everyone just looks back at that time and is like, that was one of the greatest summers. It's unbelievable.
I'm glad I was part of it.
Yeah, no, mate, you were like, that moment when you obviously did the Georgia and Kaz decision, right? This little switch up.
Yeah.
That was the biggest moment that's the most controversial moment of the whole series. You were hated, you know.
Oh, geez, wasn't it like someone said to me like I was the most hated man until like Hendo put that pen away. Or no, Dyer put that pen away against Colombia. And then it was like people forgot about me. And
good.
They were like, nah, we're actually bringing it home.
Yeah. You couldn't even see the scenes.
Let me tell you the stress. I used to have a sit-down protest. I said, just all you got to do is just let us watch the games. Because I assumed, right, if it's on, they would, but I would assume, right, if it was on, right, when I went, I was like, they'll just let you watch it and they'll film the reaction of you watching, like, the Euros and it'll be cool, right? But they had absolutely no plans of doing that. So I was thinking, as soon as I got in there, they were like, no, there's no football. So I was thinking, wow, right, what am I going to do? So I was like, right, cool. No, I'm not doing a challenge until they let us watch the football.
You said that?
Yeah, it lasted about 2 minutes before they said we'll just boot you out, and I was like,
fine. Yeah, okay, fine. All
and then like the way we used to find out about results is, you know what? I'm not gonna get him in trouble because he's a lovely geezer. So one of the people that was in and
one of the workers,
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you go and get your wine, and you'd be able to. There's no phones in there, obviously. But you'd be able to have a little look at some of the highlights sometimes as you went and collected your wine like this. And that's how, yeah. But that was like once a week. That was like once a week. That shift only happened like once a week. So you'd have to get all your news. Like, I remember like I think it was like the transfer news of Ronaldo going Juve.
Oh.
Like I walked in and I was like, and the person was like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I went, oh my God. And I'm just walking out with a wine, and I'm like, ran up to Jack, I'm like, Jack.
That's
Ronaldo's gone Juve.
That's so
sick. And then I remember like Alexandra Crane walked in and it was like it must have been halfway through the tournament. And I said to her like, are England still in the World Cup, right? And she was like, I can't say anything. They told me not to say anything. I said, if England are in the tournament, sit down. If England are out, stay standing up. And I knew this was like quarterfinal, semi-final times, right? Because you're working out your brain.
Yeah.
And she just sat straight down and I was running around going, oh my God, we're going to win it. We're going to bring it home. Oh, it's unbelievable.
They must have been like,
they were like literally like, shut up, you're ruining it. Like, look at my lips, you're ruining it. Like, that's what they were like.
But because I feel almost like I missed out on that as well, because obviously we were out at Josh behind the camera and like we were out in Russia for 5 weeks, right? Which was an amazing experience and like, honestly, for me, like in my career, one of the highlights.
Yeah.
But every day, no matter what happened during the day, or even we went to games or we went to fan parks or whatever, the thing that everyone would be talking about is all the scenes back home. So for any England game and all of the stuff that was going on Twitter and stuff of Box Park Croydon, Hyde Park and all these places, right? Just seeing the scenes there, it honestly made me want to go home. Yeah. Like genuinely. And I'm not like up there with the craziest diehard England fans who travel all over the world and stuff, right? But like, obviously I want us to do well, but it got something inside of me. I was like, I need to be there.
I still watch there's hype videos of boozers, of people jumping on the buses, jumping through bus stops.
Bro.
Like,
Yeah.
I watched those montages of the tournament now because I missed it. And I don't think that nothing will fill that hole.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Until
I get to play
we actually win it.
Okay, until we win it. If I'm around and we win it, I'll be able to forgive myself. For
but I also feel like maybe that summer was a special one because it was in Russia, so it was like in one country, accessible, different place, super hot back home.
Yeah.
We had
all the stars aligned.
It was a perfect storm almost. But it was like I was in a situation, right, where I was lucky enough to have tickets to the final, right? But when it got to the semi-final stage, and before the game, obviously we were playing Croatia, and I was like, no joke, right? I've got to stay here for a week, and I go to the final, or I'm not confirmed in the final yet, but I said, if England get to the final, I have to be either at the final, you have to get me tickets.
Yeah.
If I don't get tickets there, I'm not going around fan parks and covering it on Snapchat and socials. I'm going home to London.
I'm 1,000%.
Because genuinely, I think it would have been the wildest, not even one night.
If England had won the World Cup and you was in a fan park in Russia.
I'd never forgive myself.
Yeah, fair.
I know it was my job, but like, I would have killed to just go back to London and just... All the scenes, even just winning in the group stages and people, just, as you see, that geezer jumping through a bus stop and all these scenes and stuff. Winning a World Cup, I actually think the country would have shut down for like, no one would have gone to work.
No, impossible.
For like 4 or 5 days.
Impossible.
It would have been, well, you never know.
You never know.
Qatar, mate. Qatar might be.
Summer, Euros and the World Cup, little double header, yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, so talking of the Euros, obviously, over the last year, you've been doing a lot more England stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously together as well, you know what I mean?
That's my boy. Guys.
But do you have any plans for the Euros?
I'm cooking up something
special. Nice.
Yeah, I'm cooking up something special. So like,
you can't confirm
or deny what's going on.
Yeah.
But like, hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of me and England content because
nice.
Yeah, I'll be local.
As we were saying before, I could just see it happening.
The England gig was something that me and Steph have been talking about for years.
Really, yeah.
Years and years and years. Like, we looked at, you know what I mean, looked at all the FA staff, like looked at it and I thought, I can do this. Like, I feel like I can bring something different. I can bring my own energy to it. I can do the serious, like, sit down pieces that we've done with, you know, Saka and Bellingham, etc. And I can also do as Chile had a Chinese yet.
Yeah,
you know exactly. I feel like I've got that versatility to be able to do both, and a relationship with a lot of the players to be able to do both. So when you know, what I mean, when they first, I remember I did an FA Cup final show, 2019. Yeah. Where it was Arsenal, Chelsea. It was like me, Dave Lorca, Akinfenwa, exactly, yeah. And from there, I thought, okay, well, you know, hopefully I just, you know, get myself in front.
Was that the first in?
That was the first kind of like, hey guys, this is me, this is what I can do in person. And then from there, it kind of just kicked up. And then, you know, the first interview, I was so nervous.
I was really nervous. The first England shoot I did.
I went to St. George's Park and I was like, and obviously Saka, like I know him. Like me and you met Saka outside of the Emirates. This is like 3-4 years ago. Yeah. I remember, and he was like, bro, you know, I remember I actually saw you like outside the Emirates with a few of the boys. Yeah. Well, I think it was Vermeil as well. Yeah. So, like, even though I know him, I was still like, oh, bro, I'm at St. George's Park right now. It's England. This is another level. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was very excited. But that came about through like the 2019 FA Cup final show. Okay, and so that was kind of built from there into something. Hopefully this summer. Yeah, yeah. That would be big.
Nice. It's just good. As I said, natural next steps. That's it. Two things. One, the first. What do you think people maybe underestimate about, I say our work, but for you, that they think either it's easy or like, what would you say that people wouldn't know about our jobs?
Do you know what it is? I think it's the time constraint element. It's like a lot of the stuff we do, right, is somebody from PR or somebody from a brand or somebody from somewhere goes, bang, and go and grab someone and puts them in front of you and goes, you got 5 minutes. Yeah. You got 5 minutes, you got to do something. Do something now. Yeah. And you're like, yo, what? Like that, Okay, cool. And it's the ability to, first of all, create a relationship with that person to the point where you need to warm them up so they're not like, what the hell? Because if I just stuck a camera in your face right now, you'd be like, whoa, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Whereas like you have to then build a relationship to the point where they're like, oh my God, you have to crack a little bit of banter, get on a level, create an engaging piece of content.
That they're happy
regardless
with.
of content, you've got to create a funny video or an interesting video or get to the point where you want to get in terms of your storytelling within an outrageously short amount of time. And then
true.
boom, and then they're on to the next one. And you got to be memorable, like, do you know what I mean? So I think that's probably the hardest part, and that happens all the time, whether it be at football, whether it be at boxing, whether it be, and a lot of the times, like, if you're a player, or you're a boxer, or you're an athlete, or you're a movie star, right? Do you really want to be doing this? Probably not. You're probably tired. Like, you want to leave training, go for a nap. You just played the game. Like, you think your mind's on other things. You see your bird, or you want to go see your family, or you want to go and play COD. Like, you have to make them forget all of that and be 1,000% in the moment with you and engaged and, you know what I mean?
I think that is the art of it that people don't see or maybe underestimate. And I feel like it's, because I agree, I think that's one of the most understated, and people don't realise how difficult that can be. That time constraint, especially when, as you say, with footballers and stuff, where they don't really want to be there or whatever, and you have 10, 15 minutes to really perform and get a piece of content out that is worthy. But I feel like now it's maybe changed where I think we have more time now, because I think things are a bit more set up, because that is possibly a sign of getting to a certain level where things aren't done half-assed or anything. Now it's like proper production and stuff. Cool. Not that, I actually think all of that stuff and time constraints and all that pressure was far greater when we were starting out, when the onus was more on us. But I also feel like that is the best way of learning. That's
throw you in the deep end.
Our learning curve in half. Yeah, I feel like that is definitely one of the things that people don't realise is that pressure. Also, I'm also a little bit conflicted, because
what's bothering you too?
No, but as in, there's sort of a contradiction in my head where I think, like, as much as there is an art to what we do, and there is, I also feel like a lot of people can do it. But then also, a contradiction to the contradiction, if everyone can do it, then everyone would be doing it.
For sure. Like, you know what it is, right? When you see your favourite actor on TV, right? And you think, oh, they're just reading lines, man. Like, surely that's easy. You forget they're an actor, because that is a talent. That is a skill. Like, there is a lot of skill. I do believe that people can learn to do it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
100%.
People have a natural ability, but it's just understanding the steps that you have to go through, understanding the people that you have to speak to, understanding the sacrifices you've got to make. There's a lot of, there's a lot of points and a lot of things you've got to hit to get to the level. That's true. Where you're doing it as a job or you're successful at it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Whereas, like, the people have the ability. A lot of people have the ability to get in shape and have a mad six pack, but not everyone's strolling around like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's true.
I mean, it's just hard work and graft and grind. Like.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. And the same thing about acting as well. It's like, oh yeah, he's just reading lines, and then 10 minutes later you're so engrossed, and he's like, oh my god, he's so like, I can't believe the Kingpin is actually saying this. He's an actor. You forget that he's an actor. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I guess that proves it. Innit? Also, before we get on to the future plans, because I hold you up as someone as well who, as I said before, like, our lives is kind of so intertwined, where I look up at you and, like, as one of, like, my inspirations as well. Because no, it's true though. Like, I'm so inspired by all my friends, as much as, like, I'm inspired by like journalists I follow for ages, or anchors that I follow for ages, or inspirational sportsmen. All of my friends are so inspirational in so many ways, right? But before we get on to the future bit, I'd love to know, what are the most valuable things that you've learned over the last few years? Again, this is for people that I think would be watching because they like what we do. Yeah, for sure. What are some of the most valuable kind of lessons you've learned or pieces of advice you've been given over the last few years? Be busy. Like, be busy. We're not like just like work all the time. It's just like, make sure you're schmoozing. Like, if you go to a pro direct event, or if you go to, like, I don't know, like GQ or what, if you go to a football game, right, and you see the AFTV lot, or you see the Chelsea Fan TV or Red Devil, whatever, whether it be boxing or football, go up to them, speak to them, understand what they're doing, try and nick a little 5 minutes on camera.
Try and understand that. Be busy. If you're around these places, schmooze the person who like is sat there in the suit, who might be able to give you your next job. Like if you have to go to all these events, if you have to just go and say, excuse me, geez, like excuse me, miss, like can I nick 5 minutes of time? Do it. Learn. Watch. Understand. That is
what Chunk said as well. It's like, but even before he blew up. Yeah. He went to all of the events, and he went to the Filthy events and Pro Direct and Puma and everything like that. And I think again, that's another one of the underrated things that people don't really wouldn't think is a requirement, is that you have to be very sociable and put yourself out there.
And that's why I feel like a lot of it's quite intimidating. Do you know what I mean? To walk into a place
brave.
with 100 people that you see, go, oh right, I follow this guy or I follow this girl, and oh this person's got blue tick or this person. And it's quite intimidating to walk into that and then hold your own. But that's the only way you start. Like everyone who you see now, like you, me, when I was working in recruitment or when I was at Adobe, I was still trying to do all this stuff, but I wasn't that guy yet. So when you see these people who like you put on a pedestal, they was all normal dudes or normal women walking around the street, wanting to be where they are, and by hook or by crook or by design, they're there now. So go try and chew their ear off. Go and have a conversation. I did a little video at the Emirates the other day for a geezer, and he just had his camera out and he was like, by the way, I've got this little vlog. I've done an interview with him. He's like, oh, unbelievable. I found out, you know what I mean? He's got a blue to 150,000 followers, a couple 100,000 subscribers. He's active, he's still out there grinding. So if you've got no followers, no nothing, and you're not grinding, and you're not being busy and you're not schmoozing, how are you going to get to his place?
And that's how it goes. Going back to your earlier point, like you just got to start. You've got to start doing it.
Bro.
But again, that idea of like social, and I think on shoots and on sets and after events and stuff, and actually like being around the people who you are filming with and fully getting involved in the scene
1000%
is such a valuable, I guess, thing that you've learned.
And I think that we, from our positions where we've both been at places and companies, right? We've worked on the other side of it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? We both worked on the other side of it before getting in front of the camera or while being in front of the camera. Like,
exactly.
I understand there's a cam op, there's a soundy, there's a light technician.
There's so many people that go into making
a run-up
stuff.
You like if you're in there and you're bowling around like, yo, Philip, what are you doing, bro? Timbsy, man. If you're like that, you ain't ever gonna get booked again. People don't want to. If people have to give money to someone, people have to give jobs to someone. They're gonna give the jobs to the people that they like working with and like. You know, so you can be the most, the biggest superstar with the most likes. You walk in and you're an asshole. Ain't nobody they're gonna go pick the guy who's like slightly less famous, slightly, you know what I mean, not on that level, but pleasure to be around.
Gets the job done, nice to be around. Exactly. 100%. I think that's also one of the most valuable things I've learned is, being nice to everyone. I said this to Chunks, being nice to everyone because there is no excuse not to be.
For sure.
And again, it's almost karma because it just pays back and it just makes them happy. And you never know then how many times you've possibly been referred to other companies and other sets and other shoots and stuff because it's like, nah, he was lovely.
How many times you work with the same camera crew, like the same time?
Exactly.
And you're on the shoot. I was on the shoot at Chelsea the other day with Tushu, and I'm like, oh, what's happening? Same again. And if I was an arse, right, at the other shoots, I'd be like,
this geezer again.
This geezer again, or we're going to get someone else. There are other people. We're going to get like a Chunks or a Philly or a Timbsy or, do you know what I mean? Whoever.
Sick. I love that so much. Hey, dropping bombs, mate. I love it. So, before we wrap up, I want to know, what does the future hold? Do you have any concrete future plans? Do you want to keep doing what you're doing in terms of presenting on other people? Do you want to do more of your own platform stuff? Like, what do you want to do?
I'm retraining to be an astronaut. Started off doing that.
Interesting. It sounds like a chat up line. Honestly, I swear I've heard this in Albufeira before on the strip.
I say that. On a serious note, I just signed a contract for a second season of NFL Overtime Sky Sports.
Amazing. Congrats, bro.
Yeah, come on.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. New run of Match of the Day X.
Yes, my bro. We still haven't been on the same show yet.
I know, it's very annoying, but you can't put two big hitters on the same show.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got to spread out the wealth and the love. And I'm become a fit ambassador. I've obviously got big summer plans with England. Yet to be, confirmed. Out in the universe. Loads of stuff, man. I'm working on a few bits, trying to maybe do some stuff in the US of A, speaking to a big production company out there about a show.
So are you still happy doing stuff for other people? Because this is what, like for example, Poet has told me of like doing stuff on your own as well, owning your own stuff, because there's a lot of power in that. But obviously it's a lot harder. Would you want to do that in the future? Of like,
do you know what?
Because I think if you had your own YouTube, it would do really well.
I know, yeah, it's interesting. It's YouTube's one of those things that like you put, as you can see, like time, effort, love into your YouTube channel, like, and you've seen the more effort and love you put in it, the more your subscribers have grown, and it's an investment, man. I do feel like that, and that's why I was thinking, like, I was going to put together maybe like a little masterclass on, you know, on how to start really, because you know what I mean, like how to start being a presenter, what to do, what to watch out for, you know what I mean, the
little inside secrets
that I had to learn through by hook or by crook or by making the mistakes. So
painfully,
yeah, exactly. You don't trust me. Like, you don't want to learn what not to do when you're stood in front of Arsene Wenger, or you know what I mean. I've been stood in front of Chalobah and a few people, and I've been oh no, what have I just said, or what have I just done? So yeah, maybe that's the plan in terms of like owning stuff. I feel like maybe that's where I want to take this and give a little bit back to the, you know what I mean, the little presenter community, because there isn't. I mean, there's not a huge amount of us.
Not really.
There's a lot of people who, you know, message me on a daily basis and go, "Geez, how do you do what you do?" And I can't reply to everyone. And I feel like maybe if I put it together in like a succinct, you know what I mean, like platform where someone can go and here's like, you know what I mean, the 10 different aspects of being a presenter, or however many, about 100, but whatever, and learn and build.
So it's going to be next to Gordon Ramsay teaching you how to cook
if you want to do a little perfect tenderloin steak,
a
beef Wellington, and then you want to present the content that you're making it, hey, come to me, come to Gordon.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go. When you said about like learning the painful lessons, right? what maybe can you name one of those lessons, or something you've actually done where you've had to learn the hard way and you're like, shit, that was awful?
I think it's probably overestimating your relationship with people. Okay. In the ability to just tap them on the shoulder and go, let's do a little 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Okay. So like, I've been in situations where like, I've met someone so like Sean Porter, okay, he's like an American boxer, like big time American boxer, like fought Kell Brook, the former world title holder. And we were at a fight in LA, and I told the JD guys, like, we hadn't got like one piece of content, and they need a piece of content with the boxer. And he's like, last minute, I'm like, I've interviewed Sean Porter before, like, bear in mind, like, he ain't remembered this because it was about 7 months earlier, and it was about 2 seconds on Instagram stories. Yeah. So I'm with the JD guys. Yeah, I'm genuinely, I'm with like the JD guys, and they've got the camera crew, and I'm like, boom, boom, boom. We're not even supposed to be ringside at this point. And I tap him on the shoulder, I say, geez, can I just grab a quick picture? Then he's turned around, and he's looked at me, looked at these cameras, and he's gone, okay, cool. And I go, so Sean, how do you feel about trying to nick a bit of content? And he just grabbed me by the back of I had like a JD top on, and just pulled me back and went, you told me it was a motherfucking picture. Yeah. And I thought, and all the JD guys were like, oh. And it was me gassing out about 2 minutes before. I said, no. Well, to be fair, he's at Marley's getting Caribbean food. No.
And then he just walked away.
Strolled away. Yeah.
Oh, but then obviously you learn, and that's it. Don't do it again.
You learn.
You just getting grabbed by the neck. Big old
Josh
Denzel, you know.
I'll find the footage somewhere.
That is amazing. I think this has got to be it, because we've been speaking for quite a while now. So it's a shame. I don't know
if you're still here watching now, I respect it.
Because there's some stuff, like, obviously we chat all the time, but it's still nice to go in even a slightly more formal chat and actually delve a bit more deeper, because we talk about work all the time. And we talk about our lives, obviously, with friends. But actually, like, diving into the intricacies of what we do and stuff like that.
It's nice to sit here and like celebrate the wins. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like we really celebrated the wins that much. We've kind of just gone boom on to the next. So congrats, man.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you, and congrats on everything you've got coming up as well, because I know you've got big plans as well. So but as well, I'm so happy for you. And
pleasure, bro.
I love you, brother. I love you so much. What a soppy way to end it. We're just like, I love you so much. But wait, Desi, thank you so much for coming on. Bro. I appreciate it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Lovely little insights, like, especially I think if you're like budding presenters or anyone who kind of wants to get into this space as well. I think there's a lot to be learned from Denz as well. So hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Let me know in the comments below who you want next on the show. I've got a few. I've potentially got a few big names coming on. So yeah, if you want to stay tuned for the next few episodes as well, make sure you subscribe. Tune in next time. Episode dropping every Sunday. And yeah, until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. I love you. Oh, last one. Beware of the effects of your actions. Oh, well, that's a bit deep. That's a bit... Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's not end on that. That's negative, isn't it? Right. I love you all. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next episode.
What kind of tea are you drinking, bro?
Bro, it's yogi tea. It has all the...
Nice.
It has all the thing in it. Come on, bro. In it. It's so funny. Right, that's it. Timbsy boy. That was sick. That was sick. That was so good. Pleasure. That was so good.